Welcome back. I'm surprised. Have you two seen Little Thief before? I'm surprised this isn't a surprise to you guys. I don't think we used it when you were getting arrested. Alright, either way, let's see. We has footprints. The ones on the left are probably that dude's because they're just going in, while the one on the right are going in and coming out. So, this is the killers. These footprints go towards the body and come back. According to the case file, they're thought to be the killers. They're about a size 9, pretty average in other words. It seems the police weren't able to track down the murderer, who the murderer was from them though. Well, this one. I mean, these are his. These footprints stop by the body. I guess that means they belong to Mr. Aldown. He is down. His feet were pretty big. What's that, about a size 12? According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match. Alright. Aldown, the man who witnessed the president's kidnapping. But what exactly did he see? I based this part of the recreation on one of the crime scene photos. It seems he suffered a blow to the back of the head, probably with that brick. Yep, from that brick right there, they figured it must have been taken from here in the yard. Looks like the blood flowed from the head wound and spread all over the surrounding area. Here, a gift for you. This is Mr. Aldo's autopsy report. Struck by the head, died around 1 AM, February 10th. Scour the area. What do my eyes tell me? Aldown, freelance journalist, killed after witnessing the kidnapping of President Wang. Even in the recreation, it's pretty gruesome, huh? It's even worse than the actual crime scene photos. That's a lot of blood. It seems mostly to have come from the back of his head. As you can see, this area is completely caked. Yeah, the autopsy report says that's where he was hit with the brick. Indeed, I imagine his attacker must have snuck up on him from behind. It looks as if he's clutching something in his right hand. Oh yeah, they mentioned that in the file somewhere. Let's see. According to this, it was a button. A button? Torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps? I don't know if that helps us. Mr. Winter, do you have any clothes that are 12 years old? Any pictures on there? So the victim was carrying a camera. Oh yeah, according to the file, they recovered a picture. Yeah. Well, there's President Wang. Oh, well, there's where the button came from. So, the button came from the snowman. It's the president, right? And somebody's pointing a gun at him. This must be what Mr. Aldown witnessed. So the president in the trench coat is the kid. Interesting, the button that was removed before. I imagine they were trying to conceal their identity, but if Agent Lang's father's theory was correct, the person wearing that trench coat is Warden LaGuardia. How come they only found the one picture? He probably wasn't able to take any more before he was attacked. Interesting. Well, on your phone. The cell phone must have belonged to the victim. You're right. Yeah, it says here in the file that Mr. Aldown made a call while he was watching the kidnapping. A call to whom? His girlfriend. Seems he called her when he saw that the president was there, but she didn't pick up, so he left a message. That's in here too, if you want to hear it. Please. Rosie Ringer. Uh-oh. Hey Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason. And there's another... Damn it, the light's out, so I can't quite see, but... It looked like he was being kidnapped? Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should let you know. Brick to head. What were those sounds at the end? He must have been attacked while he was still on the phone. Agent Lang, can I ask you something? Mr. Alden's girlfriend, what was her name? Rosie Ringer. At least that's what I heard. Just as I thought. Wait, you mean her revenge for what happened 12 years ago? All Miss Ringer was left with were her memories and personal effects of her lover, and so seeking revenge on Chairman Winter, she made her appearance at the auction. So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winter, wasn't she? Perhaps it was for his suppression of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it was because she thought he was one of the kidnappers. Very drastic change in music. This was the brick used in the murder. There's stuff made of bricks all around here in the yard. They probably took it from somewhere nearby. Fresh blood, and plenty of it. According to the autopsy report, he died from loss of blood due to the blow to the back of his head. Head wounds are no joke. And that blood spread out over the entire area. I doubt anyone could have bled that much and survived. Anyway, this certainly seems to confirm what the autopsy report suggests. Somebody's dropped a yellow flower here. I think this one symbolizes the desire to steal treasure. Okay, you can't just make these things up. What we can say is that it looks to be different from the ones in the flower planters. Ah, so what's it doing here? What indeed? We should examine the planters too. I must be right. Somebody must have stolen it. It's a stolen treasure. Okay. I think this one might actually symbolize the growing anger of a former prosecutor. I think that's everything. Oh, footprints. Oh, I can't even examine them. Yeah, so I think that's everything. Oop. He wanted me to examine the planter. Oh. Oh my god. There's nothing else yellow. What do you want me to examine? It said to examine the planters. Hey, this arch, we've seen it somewhere before, right? Indeed we have. It's the same one that stands over the entrance to the big building today. But this is supposed to be how things looked 12 years ago. Was it there the whole time? It seems the architect worked with the old archway into the structure of the new building. The future is simply the past reheated. I think I heard that somewhere. And for once, it seems you might have remembered it correctly. But 12 years ago is a long time to reheat something for... If that was your lunch, it'd be ruined. Oh god. Why? This snowman is sad. This looks like a snowman, but it's mostly melted. Well, it's no wonder he's all slushy. He's wearing a hat and a scarf. He must be all roasty toasty. Anyway, it looks like his cute little button eye is just lying there. He probably would have frozen back up at dawn, you know. That's when it's usually the coldest. I don't think that would have helped much, Mr. Edgeworth. If a melted snowman froze again, it wouldn't turn back into a snowman. It would turn into an iceman. Money. Is what I bet you wanted me to say, isn't it? Well, too bad. A tortoise and a hare, inspired by the children's story, no doubt. The tortoise races the speedy hare and wins. Alright, time for K Faraday pop quiz. Why did the hare lose the race? I'll give you 3 options. I don't need 3 options. He lost because he stopped to rest and fell asleep. Number 1, the hare's favorite running shoes were stolen by the Yatagarasu. Number 2, the tortoise trained with the Yatagarasu and got so fast that he won. Number 3, the real winner was the Yatagarasu, who plotted a surprise secret victory. Those are my only 3 options. Too hard? Alright, I'll give you a hint. The option you're looking for starts with a 3. Well, that definitely narrows it down. You found it, buddy. An igloo shaped like a bear, the perfect balance of cuteness and scariness. I guess you could call it a big loo. It is quite large. You could probably fit as many as 3 people inside it. Yeah, and they could live in there for 3 whole years. 3 years? And what about the summer? Wouldn't the big igloo melt? Again, say it again, Mr. Edward, please, one more time. Wouldn't the igloo melt? Yeah, you're no fun. There are burn marks on this pillar here. The reports say there was a fire sometime on the evening of the incident. A fire? Let's see. Where was it again? Ah! Yeah, one of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene, some sort of prank property. They sound like a lively bunch, possibly too lively. It seems their antics spilled out chances of finding any footprints near the entrance to the building. Oh, okay, so that wasn't a complete waste. It's a porch swing with an elephant's face on it, and behind it what appears to be a motor. You know what every dedicated swing fiend always wonders, don't you? If they can swing all the way over to the top and back again, maybe a motorized swing can finally make that dream come true. Wouldn't that be a little dangerous? And what dream isn't, huh? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. True, but hardly applicable in this case. I think that's everything. I still don't know what planter they want me to examine, but... Let's talk to people now? Boy howdy, is this ever a scoop. Whole world's gone green. Must be an outbreak or something. I'm seeing green trees, green people, green clothes, everything. They must be real sick if even their clothes are green. Looks like we wound up slap bang in the middle of the right dang place at the right dang time. Sure did, Chief. I don't think we're gonna get word in edgewise here, Mr. Edgeworth. And I don't think we want to. How dare you, Scruffy? Don't you dare tell anybody. I'll just deny it anyway. Eek, Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta help me out here, sir. What's the matter, Detective? It's about the SS5 incident. What else? I know Chairman Winter isn't in charge anymore and all, but a top-secret file being available to us so quickly after his removal, something seems off. So that got me thinking, and I put in a call, and they told me that, well, that Miss Von Karma went to some pretty extreme lengths to get that file released. Curse you, Scruffy, I deny everything. It sounds like you went to a lot of trouble for our sake, Franziska. Don't worry, your efforts won't be for nothing. I'll solve this case, you'll see. Lang. Oh. 3 planters covered with snow. Is anything the matter, Agent Lang? Yeah, something's not right. I wasn't able to look at the case file until now. Indeed, you have Chairman Winter to thank for that, it seems. Yeah, well what's weird is, I've seen this scene somewhere before. What? Well, where? I keep thinking I've got it, but then it's gone. He appears to be lost in his efforts to remember. Perhaps I should leave him alone for now. President Wang changed after the SS5 incident. I guess he felt his trust had been betrayed, I can understand that. But to cut his ties with my family completely after how close we've been for all those years? My father was desperate to make amends, to get just one chance to say sorry. But no matter how many times he tried to get an audience with the president, he couldn't. He couldn't even convince them to take a letter to him. One time he came home covered in bruises. Who knows from where? A bodyguard, maybe? Sorry. There's no point making you sit through old stories that won't change anything. I'll be the judge of that. As warm and fuzzy as ever, I see. Not that I expected any different. That case ruined my father, and my family too. The people who failed to keep the president safe, that's all we were after that. He threw himself heart and soul into the investigation. He became obsessed, in other words, hardly the best state of mind in which to undertake an inquiry. Wow, you really don't pull your punches, huh? Look, just don't go thinking I'm only doing this because of my dad, okay? That investigation was solid, his work was meticulous, and it was accurate, it always was. He interviewed every single one of those kids, and he made sure they told him everything. I wonder if he learned anything of value. Do I have anything to connect? No, I do not. That being said, him bringing up the three planters. We have 3 planters and 3 footprints, but they're not in the same place because it's like 1, 2, and then 3 is like over here. Still in. Oh, is that how I examine the planter? Nope. feel like it wants me to examine. Large hellfire, single sister shark, everything up, little planter. Starting here, indeed. Fuck, just. We should examine the planters too. Somebody must have stolen it, it's a stolen treasure. I think this will might be symbolized. Yeah. But I can't. Bender, what do you think about all this? Looks chillier than your chilliest look out here, Mazzarino. Somebody might have to warm me up. Could you maybe take this a little more seriously, Mr. Bender? For you, K-Meister, anything. Can't believe this whole sorry tale began right here. Kinda crazy, right? Yes, it is a little. What were Fifi's and the chairman up to, though? Where were they going with all this? Where indeed, I'd very much like to know that myself. And I'd very much like to know where you two are going to admit just how much you love Uncle Eddie. Ha! Not anytime soon. Come on, Mr. Fender. You're not taking this seriously at all. He did for about 3 sentences, which is something of a record. Oh, actually, no. These aren't even. So these can't be the same as the footprints because we're not in the yard where the movie theater or movie scene is. We're in front of the building. You two. Can I help you, Mr. Edgeworth? I cannot thank you all enough for returning Sean safely to me. I can hardly bear to imagine how I would have felt if he had not come home. Hey, old guy, can't you see that you're upsetting her? Aye, that was not my intent at all. Hee hee. Look at her little knight in shining armor defending his mom's honor. Shut up. I wouldn't have to if you didn't keep... That's enough, Sean. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll allow me, I would like to apologize again. I failed in my duty as a servant of justice. I will not ask you to forgive me. I only ask that you understand that Judge Gavel, I don't presume to know the goddess of justice as well as you do. But she was a mother, was she not? Of other gods and goddesses? She was. Fair judgment requires personal circumstances to be taken into account. I'm sure she would understand. Perhaps your beloved goddess is more merciful than you give her credit for. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. What are they even talking about? Don't worry, John. I don't have a clue either. So things are finally settling down after Ward McGuardi's trial. It would seem so. Sentencing is still to come, but the guilty verdict should stand. And do not worry, Excelsius Winter's connection to the case will be thoroughly investigated. Have faith, Mr. Edgeworth. Eustace is a changed man. Indeed. He simply had some growing to do, but then don't we all, Kay included. Huh? Kinda feel for him now. I said some pretty mean things, but I'll make up to it next time I get a chance. And I'm sure that chance will come. But for now, indeed, we need to focus on the case at hand. What do you want? Sean, I wonder if you could tell us a little more about the circumstances surrounding your kidnapping. They took you when you went to the garbage disposal area, right? But what were you doing there? It's alright, you don't have to talk for him. He can just ask me himself. Hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? I think he's starting to warm up to you. I went to the garbage disposal to throw away the flowers that were on the body. It wasn't far, and I figured they'd be less likely to find them there than if I threw them in a garbage can. I tried to get in there last night too, but it was locked. So you had to come back today and try again. Yeah, but when I was there, somebody came up behind me and put something over my face. Oh yeah, snoozing is easy 3Z with 3 Z's. The fact that she was drugged with it too doesn't seem to bother her. I guess it's a catchy name. Whoever it was pretty strong, but I never saw their face. I see, thank you, that's very helpful. What can you tell us about the time between when you were kidnapped and when you were found? Not a whole lot, I bet you. Snoozing is easy 3Z with 3 Z's. I remember waking up feeling cold. I was somewhere big and empty and dark. There were cardboard boxes with some other language written on them. I figured it must be a storeroom. But it was actually a giant refrigerator. Business used them to keep stuff chilled. And that's where Kay and Detective Gumshoe found them. They really saved the day there. Guess the cooler must have been on until just before I was brought there. Like I said, it was pretty cold. Anyway, they didn't take my phone for some reason, so I used that to call for help. I see. Well, we're all very glad that you found your way back to us safely. Bah. Say it like you mean it, why don't you? He's not the most gracious child I've met. Reminds me of a certain somebody else. So, now what? I've spoken to everybody. The game wants me to examine the planters, but I can't. Oop. There we go. Oh, the three on the left. That would be the movie set ones. The three holes in the movie set. According to the case file, the yard structure around three sides of the orphanage. And there were three planters on each side. Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before. Shame there are many flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter. Yes, but look at that one, it's bright yellow. Weird, how come there's only one? Wait, it looks like somebody dropped it. That's a lion lily, if I'm not very much mistaken. A rare member of the family Liliaceae. A lion lily, you say? Wait, didn't Judge Gavel give President Wang some lion lilies? What is the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence. Can it? I believe this particular cultivator is from Asia, where it's said to symbolize the bond between parent and child. I wasn't aware you were so knowledgeable when it came to flowers, Francisca. Ha! What I just told you is common knowledge. Perhaps you just need to read a little more. Planters. 3 footprints. Go! So that's where our monstrous hoofprints really were. Wait, what? Recall the arrangement of the prints, now compare it to the planters. Whoa! That's right, I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood. So Chairman Winter was digging around the front of them. He was. And why might he have been doing that? We have a piece of evidence in our possession that answers exactly that question. Which piece of evidence shows what Chairman Winter might have been digging for? Wasn't that in... Let's talk about night. Where is it? Yeah, the package we laid to rest 12 years ago. Right in front of the planters where we left it.
Take that!
Recall, if you will, the report that Warden LaGuardia sent to Chairman Winter. In it, she mentioned something that had been laid to rest in front of a planter. You think she was telling him where to dig? Wait, why 3 holes? Because the report didn't specify which of the planters she meant. I get it, so he wasn't sure which one it was. Which means he had to try and dig up all 3. I imagine so, yes. Poor Chairman Winter. Why go through all that trouble? What was he looking for? I think that's about all we can learn from the scene for now. Alright, how about I try showing you things looked earlier on that night? That would be very much appreciated. Could you take us back to the moment at which the victim witnessed the kidnapping? Sure. I'll use the photograph you took. Here goes. There's Mr. Aldown in the middle of the planters. There's the president and his kidnapper out by the road. My father based his investigation on the evidence Aldown provided. That was why he thought the kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow. And how he wound up suspecting Fifi LaGuardia. She was the one running the orphanage at the time. Exactly. But when the case went to trial, Excelsior's Winter put a big hole in that theory. He did? Yeah, after all, the president and the kidnapper weren't actually on the grounds of the orphanage. So it was hard to conclusively prove any kind of connection. Huh. So they were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage. Detectives bust a gut to find evidence on the scene, and then prosecutors come along and twist it for their own ends. Winter and LaGuardia were working together. They had some kind of deal, I'm sure of it. So you're saying that Chairman Winter was working with the kidnapper? Your father was convinced that LaGuardia was the culprit, correct? And you say he was gifted and a thorough investigator, then he must have had more to support his theory than just Aldown's message, surely. Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly a case he liked talking about. Agent Lang's father, DeLong Lang, trusted ally and confidant of President Wang. He discovered truths that were subsequently suppressed by Chairman Winter. Our first priority should be to find out what they were. The incident. We have our footprints, which lead to that guy. This person, on the other hand, doesn't have any footprints. Which might be why... Oh, but this area was burned earlier. I was gonna say, if there was footprints here, that would explain the fire. These footprints stopped by the body. I guess that means they belong to Mr. Aldown, right? His feet were pretty big. What's that, about a size 12? According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match. Yeah, that brings to him. This is obviously new. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. The snowman. Why take his eye before this? Hey, that snowman. It was melted in the simulation on the morning after the murder. And that muffler was all wet, and its a little button eye had fallen off. Indeed. It still looks reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I can see one thing that's missing. Oh, poor guy. I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they had potential. You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. Yeah, because we've seen, we have, I guess, evidence there, right? The button? Yeah. Eureka! The snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Yeah, his right eye. Indeed, luckily we managed to locate it. The button Mr. Aldown was holding. Look at that, it's the same type of button as the other eye and everything. And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. What does the button contradict? Yeah, it would have to be the victim's location, because... how did he grab... Like, he would have had to have grabbed the eye first, then go left, then go up with the foot where the footprints lead, and then get killed while holding the button. Because there's blood on the button. So he would have had to get hit and then put the blood on the button. So I'm gonna say the victim's location. The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood, which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What? Attacks K. What if, after being struck, Mr. Aldown lost his balance, and reached out to grab something to steady himself, the snowman. The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling. I get it, so you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked. I am, within arm's reach to be precise. And he's currently nowhere near that close. Right, but his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this way. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints again. Alright, I'll take us back when Mr. Aldown's body was found. So he's one of the trails on the left, or on the right, I mean. But didn't he have like huge feet? But the footprints on the left definitely match up with Mr. Alden's shoes. What's the deal? Take another look and see if we can figure it out. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Alden's footprints? Well, they're the same size, a 12, which is pretty big. And the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planters where his body was found. But as we established, when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman. But being a great thief, I know a few contortionist tricks, but that would be way beyond even me. Some average Joe stretching his arm that far? Basically impossible. I think we can be reasonably certain that the prints were made by the shoes the victim was wearing. But can we be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes? Perhaps we should take another look at them. At the shoes? These shoes, as the case file says, they match the footprints, but... these aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it. What do you mean? Oh yeah, look at the left foot. There's a bunch of space in the back. Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. So he's one of the footprints on the right, and then they put these shoes on him so it looked like he was the one on the left. So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found, and then they stop by his feet. But they didn't actually belong to him, so the print by his head... So are the prints by his head the ones that lead away and come back? No, I don't think they're too small. So neither set belonged to him. Then how did you get here? That's easy enough, he didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. So then where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspected? I think Mr. Aldown's body was moved. How else to explain the button clutched in his hand? And that will suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. Better take a closer look. Oh, there's a missing brick. Look, there's a brick missing here. The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing. Interesting. Does that answer? What do we have? We got a couple things. He was involved if he dug something out. If Chairman Winter was involved in President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday has something to do with the kidnapping. Oh, I get it. You do? You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right, Luke? He must have been digging up the ransom money. The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility. Hee hee, glad you agree. Interesting. The missing brick was the brick used in the murder. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, they're the exact same shape and size. That's the only thing I have left. I think we have concluded that the murder actually happened over by the snowman. Right, the button came from there, and the brick too. Indeed, and what's more, if the murder took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over by the planters, Mr. Aldown would have seen them right away. Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Aldown wasn't standing by the planters, he was next to the snowman. Gotcha, alright, here goes. Well, that ain't right. Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh? Indeed, everybody who was present is in the exact same spot. So where did we go wrong? One of the pieces of evidence on which we based our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow? It would have to be this one. Yeah, what? This would be the only explanation for why there's a bunch of people lined up. Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldown? Huh? What do you mean? We know that whoever killed him moved his body, but why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't? and then they took the photo to help back up the lie. They had the president at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the picture. He would have had no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Aldown's camera, right? Indeed, I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already there, and replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that only one picture was found. Yeah, that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Mr. Aldown was killed. No way. And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Aldown saw at all. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that was the case. Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Aldown thought he saw him being kidnapped? Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try and figure that out. Oh yeah, he left that voicemail too. He did. I think we should listen back to it one more time, don't you? I agree, because I already forgot what it said. This is surely the only place where the president and his killer could have been standing. I'm going to assume where the burn is. Can I listen to... I mean, if he was here... Here makes sense, because if it's here, you're blocking your own vision. It has to be here, which is why then this got burned, maybe? I'm gonna assume here?
Take that!
Recall the statement from Mr. Alden's voicemail. Damn it, the light's out, which that one is out. 2 of the lights here in the yard are broken. Yeah, he must have been talking about the one over by the building. Alright, could you update the simulation to reflect everything we've learned? Sure. And there we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building. Which was certainly yeah, I was about to say they threw out the Fifi LaGuardia because they said that the crime never actually happened on the thing, but they just staged it to look like it never did. Which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail, which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found. Only one way to find out. Ready to make the jump? To switch between the 2 recreations, I need to first press T while talking to K. And then select Switch. Is there anything else I need to do over here? So now you guys are here. They might, yeah, that could have been, because the blood gets cut off. Mr. Alden wasn't killed here between the punches at all. Then what's this blood doing here? Things have changed considerably in terms of where the simulation is showing us, but if we want to look more closely at this blood, I think we're better off looking at the simulation from the point at which the body was discovered. What are we waiting for? Okay, so go back in time. Yeah. Switch. Yes. And there we have it. Yeah, so now homie's over here. I'm gonna scour the scene. The blood. Blood on the snow, a lot of it. It certainly looks as if the murder occurred here, doesn't it? Wait, but we just figured out that Mr. Aldown was killed over by the snowman, right? We did. And I think this blood might belong to somebody else. What? But the police report said that the blood was Mr. Aldown's. Didn't I remind you that this case was overseen by Chairman Winter? The man would have had no scruples about altering the official record over something this small. Well, then why go through all the trouble? Couldn't he have just cleaned up the blood instead? He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this is where the police would find Mr. Aldown's body, and he knew that the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues. Oh, you mean luminol, yeah. They would have found traces of blood if they used that for sure. Exactly. He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they came back. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with a doctored copy. Eesh, so we've been looking at a forgery this whole time, that sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. Aldown's clothes were covered in blood too. It does, and if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's blood this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Aldown was placed here. I get it, which means that the other person's blood was spilt not long before Mr. Aldown was killed. I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? Mystery blood. Do I have some... do I have anything that I can connect to the mystery blood? Left on the scene, blood wasn't Alden's. What, was it the president's blood? Did he get shot? And then they burnt that part?
Eureka!
Like, it's definitely connected to that scene because that's where the fire cuts. Like, the blood would have continued on, but then the fire melted the snow. There's a clear contradiction here. And the bloodstain? The blood is clearly cut off, yeah. The blood is clearly cut off where the snow was melted by the fire, which means that the blood in question was spilt before the fire was started. Huh? But the fire happened before the murder, no? If we choose to believe the case file, yes. But if the fire was actually set after what happened there, the kid who lit it might have seen something. Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winter's version of the events. We need to know more about this fire. You. Yes, Shifu. The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Go see if they have anything and bring everything you find back here right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right on it. One more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Zhangfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. There should? What kind of something exactly? I told you I'd seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it. Or at least of something very much like it. What? It looked like it was drawn by a child. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away. Yes, Shifu. Investigation complete. Shifu, I'm back. I brought everything the police had on the fire, and I also brought the picture from your family, from your father's office. Oh, one more. About time. What kept you, huh? Well, hand it over. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we? This is it. Oh! Bald dude with dog. Like, that looks... I mean, I'm assuming that's a dog and not like a stuffed animal. Like, This is it. This is the picture I remember. Could this be a depiction of something that happened the night of the incident? It sure looks like a kid drew it. Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of a child who set the fire. And that kind of looks like the dude that's in prison with the dog. But now, look, it'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor? Why do you think my father kept this? I imagine he acquired it at some point during his investigation, although I have no idea why he would have it, why he chosen to keep it to himself. Could we see the case file for the fire too? Sure, here. If you just give me a moment to read through it. It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident, and then disappeared several days later. What? Must have been because he saw something, right? No, a kid? Really? That's horrible. It's sadly not unimaginable. Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence. What's that? It's the president's plushie horn. What's that doing in the case file? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before? Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could very well be connected. The plushie! Where's my plush? There's my plush.
Take that!
I don't know what it's doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like there might be the missing horn from this soft toy. Hey, that was President Wang's. You've seen it before? Of course, he always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because of the missing piece. I see, it has a special device inside that plays recorded sounds when you twist the horn. Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back might unlock more recordings? You never know. The toy itself should still be up on the 51st floor. Hey, you heard the man. Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch it right away. Here it is, Shifu. The Tyrannosaurus doll, just like you said. Good work. Hand it over to the prosecutor over there. Well, does the horn found in the orphanage fit the president's plush? It fits perfectly. And? Any more recordings on there? Hi, Dijun. Sorry, President Wang. It's me. Amelie. I know it's been a while. I saw on the news that you were visiting the country soon, and I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end I decided I had to. Turn it off right now. What's gone into Judge Gavel? Are you okay? Just turn it off, please. You see, I had a baby. Oh, it's her sister. I had a baby, a beautiful little boy, your beautiful little boy. Sean's the president's kid, huh? I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fenn. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think? No. Sean Fenn. The kid? And also that I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye. What? He was my dad? I'm so sorry, Sean. Care to explain what the heck is going on, Gavel? Sean isn't my biological son. I adopted him. And he was aware of this. Yes, of course. His mother, Amelie Fenn, she died 5 years ago. We were cousins. But we were also friends, the best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters. And so I said sister, cousin. When she died, it seemed only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret, and I decided that the best way to do that would be for him to never to know in the first place. That's quite a lot to learn from a recording made on a seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then sent the plushie to the president. Hey. Yes, Sean. You're sure he was really my dad? Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Zhangfa. Makes sense. That line of work might well have brought her into contact with the president. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage. She did, but only after she returned, and after she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Not so fast!
Sorry, Judge Gavel, but I have to ask. Amelie, the lady who asked the president to come. Why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the file related to the SS5 incident? She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her. I'll bet that was Chairman Winter's doing. Though sadly we can't prove it. And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again. And then she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean. Hey, Sean, are you thirsty? You could go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over. You think I can't buy myself a soda? This is important, and it's about me. I'm staying. Oh, that didn't work at all. A for effort, K. Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago. So that's it. That was the big secret. I wanted to tell him face to face that Amelie was gone, but also that you were alive and well, more than well. But it makes sense now. No wonder Judge Gavel was so keen to avoid sharing the details of their meeting. Yeah, she would have had to share the truth about Sean too. That was why I took the lion lilies with me, so there would be no doubt that I knew Amelie, and that I knew her well. These flowers bore a special significance for the 2 of them, you see. President Wang gave Amelie a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of their romance, but now, he too is dead. If only he had lived. Sean might finally have been able to get to know him. Shifu, I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but... What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Wait. They sent something else from Zhang Fa. President Wang's will. What? The president's will, huh? He gave my father medal after medal. They had to come up with a new one just for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give him, so he made us the keepers of his last will and testament. Those medals, that duty, they're our greatest pride, our family jewels. What? What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? You could say that. Seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Sean's name appears in the president's will? And we're certain that the document is authentic. That President Wang wrote it himself? Sure we are. It's old, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened. They'll want to analyze it back home to be sure, but I'd stake my name on it being the genuine article. Wang was a renowned world leader, a child nobody knew about, would have been sure to cause a stir, and yet he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless. Well, that's that, I guess. I still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying it. Sean, you're President Wang's son. Gumshoe looks completely oblivious. Sean. To be continued. Well, that's where we're stopping. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.